Welcome back to Wellness in Minutes, where we give you bite-sized health information that's easy to digest. Be sure to check out the show notes for details on the full episode and more from the Food Matters podcast.
Can we talk about some of the pitfalls of like modern juice cleansing? What are the biggest mistakes people make when they go on a juice cleanse, or if they're not working with you or somebody that's reputable? What are some of the mistakes people make, or if they're just at home doing stuff? Like, what are the biggest problems people make when they start a juice cleanse or juicing?
Well, if they don't, it depends on which one they follow. But if they don't follow one and they just make it up themselves, 9 times out of 10, they don't have the plethora of different anthocyanins, the different color pigmentation made up of all plants. And each one of them has their own. They're very similar, of course. I mean, they've done studies on beetroot and watermelon and pomegranate juices. Fundamentally, they do the same thing. It's no surprise because they're all red. And so, they're all loaded with nitrates. They widen the blood vessels. Oxygen uptake is increased. All of those things, and that's why they call it the Viagra juice, of course. So any fix yourself a stiff drink. So if you're missing some of the reds or the greens or the yellows or whatever, that's one element. The other element, of course, is having too much. I mean, I'm loath to say this because fruit is good. I'm not an anti-fruit guy at all. I don't know how that ever became a thing, anti-fruit. However, if you're juicing like grapes, for example, and you're just having nothing but grape juice or everything else, now that will elevate your sugar levels. There are no question about that. And so therefore that's where you've got to be a little bit careful, because you don't want to have crashes there either. So in Super Juice Me 2, we will be putting the sugar thing to rest. In fact, Super Juice Me 2 is virtually all about type 2 diabetes, juicing and everything else. I've done it several times, but I'll do it on camera, where you drink a freshly extracted juice, one that I've made, and you do your blood, nothing happens, and then you have a carton juice and it goes through the roof. And so because you've got the soluble fiber and insoluble fiber that is contained within a freshly extracted cold pressed juice, which you don't have.
Wait, you're saying there's certain fibers in a cold pressed juice still?
Yeah, soluble fiber, pectin. That's the main one, of course.
Okay, of course. Soluble fiber
acts like a gel. But with some of the new juice extractors, you've also got insoluble. You've got soluble fiber, insoluble fiber as well, because it's not filtered. A lot of them have sieves now, and so some of them you've got little particles in there. It's still not good enough, I would say. Which is why the other mistake people make, they don't add in what I call the real things that are going to satisfy your hunger, regulate your appetite, things like avocados, which don't juice, but you must blend them. So this is why, the turbocharged smoothie, which I still virtually have every single day, it hasn't changed.
One of my favorites ever, to be honest.
So yes, thank you everyone for listening. I really enjoyed that talk. I hope you did too. And there will be more of these on the Food Matters podcast. So head to foodmatters.com and see you again.